really unique things about Taichi is the redirecting. Is this teaching, or is this way of life, can it be applied to the normal lives, or in modern society, to people in their daily lives?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole principle of it. That's the whole practice of it. So, I mean, some of the examples I'm using, like, having a conflict with in a relationship or at work or in some kind of social structure. Those are direct experiences I've had too, which I think they're relatable because we all have had those moments, where maybe you get too involved with the fight of it or the argument of it, the competition of it or something, and you kind of lose track of what was really happening. And so, yeah, there's this idea of like, if you advance, I retreat, and so I'm gonna give you space to deal with what you're dealing with. But when we think about that in our daily life, we can think, someone lashes out at you, I'm going to step back enough to where I'm not going to get caught in that emotional kind of disturbance. This idea people can relate to, of maybe you have those moments of when you're being too involved, you're starting to risk quite a lot to do something, and sometimes that's a good signal to step back. It's a good signal to relax and take a moment. So, trying to make it so you're not, presenting yourself for conflict, I think, is the best way I can say that.
Invariably, I think there's going to be this thinking like, is Tai Chi about running away? And will people feel like, sounds like it's a loser philosophy, like
recluse.
Yeah, it's just the, I'm not going to stand up to the bully. I'm not going to stand up to the conflict.
Okay, that's a good observation. So when I say the phrase, for example, I'm using that directly out of the text, is this idea of, when you advance, I yield. And it doesn't mean I leave. It means I move out of the way of that. And so there's kind of a stickiness to it. So there is an idea there in, like, for example, we talk about Taiji Chuan, we talk about the martial art of Taiji, we talk about this application. And so I'm redirecting force in order to where either, for one, like we have movements where we redirect force, and maybe that turns into yourself tripping, or this kind of idea, this principle of like, you're becoming your own enemy in a way, so making that weakness apparent, or also being able to redirect a movement so that something else is available, so try not to go against, trying to find these kind of indirect ways of attacking, or maybe I should say, altering or mediating a problem.